Today on Movie.Cast, we talk Disney's latest remake, Beauty and the Beast. Hello everybody and welcome to Movie.Cast. This is the podcast where we talk all about films. I'm Mike.
Costa.
Amber.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing all right.
Yeah?
Awesome.
Yeah,
I was
well-
trying to put a Beauty and the Beast thing in there, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
I was
well,
thinking, I can't be your guest? No?
You know what? You just ruined what was going to be my segue.
Oh,
and
sorry.
I was going to invite our audience out
there you go.
to be our guest on
Be
our
our
show
guest.
today.
Y'all guess.
Because if we haven't made it clear by now, we are talking about Beauty and the Beast. Just came out, and
What's
we
that?
saw it. What's that?
What's beauty? No, I'm kidding.
It's a tale as old as time. Sorry, that was lame. Okay, so we're going to get all these lame segues and jokes here. And so we are going to review the movie. For those of you who've never heard our show before, we generally like to start off spoiler-free. But listen carefully, because once you hear the Wilhelm scream, that's when we've entered spoiler territory, and we'll let you know. But at that point, if you haven't seen the movie, listen at your own risk. You know, obviously it's Beauty and the Beast, so I'm going to assume most of us will you kind of already get the idea of the story. But still, if you don't want things spoiled, don't listen beyond that point. We're going to tell you, first off, starting off spoiler-free, what we thought of it and whether or not we recommend it. All right? So, guys, any of us can start. What did we think of Beauty and the Beast?
It was good. I mean,
Yeah.
it was definitely a very faithful live action remake to the animated film. Obviously, with the few new additions, as far as like songs and whatnot.
Yep.
I mean, other than that, it was it was almost a shot for shot remake.
There were some moments that you could have basically torn right out of the cartoon.
I mean,
animation.
the cast was great. I mean, Emma Watson was very good as Belle. What's his name? Dan Stevens. He was the Beast.
He was the Beast.
Yep.
Was fine. I thought that Luke Evans was great.
Evans as Gaston. What a great pairing of actor to character.
Fantastic. And obviously, Josh Gad is the.
I thought he was great as LeFou.
I mean, and he's obviously like, Josh Gad is like Disney's like gem now. like he went from he was Olaf in Frozen, and now he's like working his way into the live action
films. I love him as Olaf. He just loves the sun.
Yeah, no, he was great as Olaf. Josh Gad always gets these small roles, these smaller roles.
But he stands out for a small role.
Right,
and he's very well.
He's got a great singing voice.
He's very unique. Let's put it.
He's got a lot of energy. His the comedic portion to his character was pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of and obviously can't forget about the rest of the cast. Ian McKellen and
Ian
McGraw.
McKellen was one of my favorite parts of this
Cogsworth,
movie.
yeah.
I mean, without trying to give away too much, just Ian McKellen as Cogsworth, he was fantastic.
That dry humor that he brought
exactly.
to the film was a lot of fun. I mean, just overall, I will say, however, that even though it was a good movie, I will say that I preferred the Jungle Book to Beauty and the Beast as far as the live action remakes go. And I think the reason why I liked the Jungle Book more was because I feel like the Jungle Book took the animated film and made it even better. I don't look at Beauty and the Beast and say, wow, this was light years better than the animated film. I would say it's on par. Right.
And I agree. This is one of those moments where we're actually going to be on the exact same page about this. I thought the Jungle Book, the remake, completely replaces, in my mind, and I know we talked about this before that we came on the air, but in my mind, the Jungle Book movie that came out last year has completely replaced the cartoon, the animated movie.
Right.
And the animated movie, to me, doesn't even exist anymore. It's just that Jungle Book live-action movie. But I do agree, and again, staying in the spirit of spoiler-free, I do think the movie was good. I thought it was faithful. but it wasn't spectacular like in my view that the Jungle Book was.
Right.
You know, I agree. It was solid. It was well done. You know, there's nothing really a whole lot negative I can say about Beauty and the Beast. It just didn't hit me the same way that The Jungle Book hit me in terms of, you know, just how impressive it was. Amber, what do you think?
I should say I really loved it. And it's probably, it's right there. It's at the top of my list for 2017, even though I've only seen like 4 movies this year
I know,
so far.
It's a small sample. So.
Of 2017 movies. It's right there. It met my expectations and maybe even more. Though I loved Jungle Book like last year, I think that was on my list for like, it was. But Beauty and the Beast is like my second favorite Disney movie. Like Little Mermaid's #1 for me. It will always be. And Beauty and the Beast is right there. And then Aladdin's underneath. But so I loved it. I liked it, and I'm like not with you guys with The Jungle Book, because I think I liked it more than The Jungle Book, but that's because I think because nostalgia-wise, Beauty and the Beast is it. Unlike you, like I do enjoy the animated Jungle Book just as well as the new one. I've actually seen like multiple Jungle Book versions.
And I'll qualify my statement too by just saying that I wasn't the biggest Beauty and the Beast fan, nor was I the biggest fan of the Disney animations in general. Back then. I mean,
that kind of makes sense of why why you view it that way. For me, I liked this movie. I think like it was a solid adaptation. What little things that they switched about it, wasn't really. I liked the Jungle Book movie and its interpretation. I really did, but I liked this more. Other than nostalgia reasons, but I did like the Jungle Book animated movie. I liked this probably more than the Jungle Book movie because it was. Basically, like we were saying, it's pretty shot for shot. It pretty hits all the marks that the other one did. Absolutely. But the little changes, little tweaks, I would say they made little tweaks to this, or added little things into it. We'll talk about that. I thought they were great. I know they added how many new songs did they add to it? Like 2. I liked both the new songs, which was the only other thing I wasn't worried was am I gonna really? Because I went the original, and I actually did. Right. I really liked the Beast song, and it's just I had the only thing I had my reservations going in was with Emma Watson. And I thought she surprised. That's the only one I was just she's still I wasn't sure. Right. And I don't know if she can sing. I saw little clips, but I try to not watch anymore. After the first few trailers, I was I don't want to watch anymore. Right. I know how it's going to end, but I want to kind of still be a little bit surprised with how they go with it. Sure. And I thought she did a really great job. She did. She did sell me on Belle. With her opening with when she does Bonjour.
Yes, that song still is stuck in my head.
That was such a good that's the big one, because that's that introduces her, and then when she goes off, that she was really great in that, and I thought it was great, and I loved it. It just went a little bit more for me due to Jungle Book, because Jungle Book, their musical elements, other than with Mowgli and Baloo singing, I wasn't a big, they only had that song, and then they had the King Louie song, which I didn't care for. I thought it just did not make sense. And if they wanted, I wouldn't mind Jungle Book actually doing all the songs, but they didn't, and I think they slipped with the King Louie song. But this, I don't think they slipped with anything.
Yeah, no.
And I thought it was great.
Yeah. So, all right, good.
Yeah.
And so I think in general we all find it to be a pretty good movie.
It wasn't shitty.
Right.
It wasn't Alice in Wonderland or even Maleficent.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We can pretty confidently recommend this movie to anybody who even has or has not seen the original. If you haven't seen the original, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but
either that or you're born after the year 2000.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's true.
You're waiting for it to come out of the
vault
to buy.
Then blame your parents then for not bringing you up properly. So let's move on, and there's that Wilhelm scream. So now we're getting into the spoilers. So we're going to talk let's get in a little bit into the story to start off with, because they did make additions to the story.
Mm-hmm.
They went deeper into both the Beast background and Belle's background.
Yeah.
Added a bit more subplot and subtext. I even had to read up about some of the changes that they made where, like, in this version of the movie, Belle was the inventor and not her father. Like, they both kind of were, but
I didn't
she was
really,
a little bit more.
with inventing of what? Like the clock?
Just in general.
I don't
think
she invented anything. She just still read. I don't remember her.
Yeah, she was.
Her father was like a painter and stuff like that, which I think they went more into in drawing. Like he was an artist.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
But
I mean,
they went more into his background
with
her.
Exactly.
I think they delved deep into why it's just her and her father, what happened to her mother. I thought that was very interesting. And then with the Beast as well, it actually made them connect more. They both lost their mothers very tragically. They both had to grow up with being raised by their father, but just two different types of fathers.
Right.
Clearly, her had a father, and then his father was not very happy. And I liked that. I liked the little, like, put it more, like, made them connect more.
Right.
Instead of just, like, we just hang around in the castle
Right.
and walk around and read books.
Or like one of the Disney, instant startup romances.
And
like,
it didn't. They had a, like, I mean, it was still
pretty quick.
it was still just like it, but
Yeah.
It was still a pretty quick progression from being annoyed and not liking each other to suddenly falling in love. But it's a Disney story. I mean, at the end of the day. But one of the few things I was disappointed by is that they didn't have the exact same sort of like when they were coming down in the original animated film. There's that famous shot of the chandelier, like the 3D pan of the chandelier. That I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't recreate that, because when that scene comes up, like that's what I'm expecting to see. So that was the only time in the movie that I was like, oh. Why did they put that in there? I mean, they tried to make up for it with the whole like sparkles and the colors and the lights
and the magicalness.
Right, yeah,
Am I the only one here that also thought that the moment in the film when the curse was broken, and you see Dan Stevens for the first time as like without makeup, aside from the beginning when they
the human,
which was clever.
Right, he looked a little bit odd. Like,
I think
like,
because
like
his wig
the
was
wig he had on just
his wig
looked a
well,
little strange.
his hair was pulled back, wasn't it?
No, because he had like the wig, like no ponytail or anything.
Yeah, it was just
long.
like
he looked a little off.
I think it was. I think it was
moment.
just he had a bad wig. He had a bad wig day.
Yeah,
they should have just made him be like, you need to grow your hair out.
I mean, yeah, it was a little off-putting, But I mean, they still matched him up pretty well to his animated counterpart.
Yeah, I mean, he looked exactly like.
And just by the way, not to go there, but you couldn't have felt a little bit awkward when at the end when Belle asks him if he wouldn't mind growing a beard.
Yeah, I was
back. I'm like.
I did laugh when she said. I was like, oh.
I kind of laughed. I thought it was kind of funny, but at the same time, though, it's like, so Belle's a furry.
So do you like me more the other way?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to comment towards that.
Yeah, no,
way.
just saying.
That was funny, but yeah, I see your point though. So we want to talk a little bit about some of the added songs. And I kind of mentioned this beforehand. A lot of this movie kind of reminds me of Phantom of the Opera.
It basically is.
Which it kind of is. It kind of has a similar concept.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Phantom of the Opera is kind of inspired by Beauty and the Beast in a way. Because, I mean, Beauty and the Beast is actually a very old, it's been around longer than Phantom of the Opera.
Right. Well, and the connections are just kind of funny because, first of all, I mean, obviously they both feature a villain who is like kind of stashed away from society a little bit, because the
Disfigurement or whatever, yeah.
Right, he's the Beast, and they're both kind of locked away until they meet the pretty lady who then
they have to see themselves for the
who
inside.
they really are. They argue with each other,
even though they're a monster on the outside.
Here are some of the other funnier connections as well. Is that so Gerard Butler played Phantom of the Opera, the Phantom, and he didn't have any singing experience before he did Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
He was cast, and then he took lessons to play the Phantom, and he killed it. And Emma Watson she had to take singing lessons the moment she got this role,
hope she did.
and she killed it.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny. And then I also read something that Emmy Rossum, who played Christine in Phantom of the Opera, and many people probably know her from the show Shameless, she was actually rumored to be like in consideration for the casting of Belle as well. So that I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But leading up to the point that we're getting to, one of the added songs is a song from the Beast himself.
Yes, I love that song.
And that was
I
great
really
song.
liked that song, yeah.
You know, like it's after Belle leaves.
Yeah, and that's not in the...
It's not in the...
And I'm wondering, I think it's Alan Menken is the one that originally wrote all the original songs. Did he write, did he come back and write those two new originals?
I don't know if he came back, but I know that some of the songs had lyrics that were left out that they used, like...
Because I was like, that's a great song that I kind of wish they had in the original.
Right.
Like, it was just like, it kind of made, like, because he never really, in the original, he just sings a little bit with something, you know, that something more where they're both singing about how they're getting closer to each other. But that's the most, like, you ever see him sing. And so I thought it was really nice that he gets his own song. Right. And he sings about why he's letting her go, like his love song to her.
And again, going back to the Phantom connection, that scene definitely reminded me of the Phantom of the Opera movie, because as he's singing, he's climbing up the castle.
He's like just going and higher to watch her go away. Yeah,
which is great. It was a great sequence. But then right at the end, you know, he belts out the last line as the camera pulls back away from the castle, and it's basically almost a shot for shot of the Phantom of the Opera. He has a song where it's just him. And Christine is going away with her new lover, and he's mad because she didn't fall in love with him, and so he jumps on top of a statue on top of the theater and like belts out the last line as the camera pulls back. Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of funny, but that was a great.
I thought it
moment.
was. I really liked it.
That was fantastic. And it was
and the original songs, I thought I don't think anybody did a bad job. I thought they were all great. No. Nobody messed up with it. I thought everybody. Emma Watson was great. Ewan McGregor, his was great because that's a big one too. That's like a very like that. Be Our Guest is like the big that and the Beauty and the Beast song, but they're not singing Mrs. Potts is singing it, and I thought the actress who played Mrs. Potts, what's her face? She's famous British actress. I thought she was great as Mrs. Potts too. Emma, or is her name Emma too?
No, it wasn't Emma Thompson. She played
Emma Thompson's Mrs. Potts, right?
I
believe
maybe she was.
I think that's who plays
I'm looking it up now.
But she was great too because that's.
She was Mrs. Potts.
She was Mrs. Potts. Yes. I think because that's a hard role kind of too because Angela Lansbury was really great as Mrs. Potts. So her
And it was different too. Like when she first says a tale as old as time. Like it sounded different. So it's
it was. I mean, it was different, but it was. I think
once you adjusted to it after that initial few seconds.
Yeah.
Once you adjusted, it was like, oh, okay.
I think it was a kind of a tough role because Angela Lansbury is very that's who I think of first that comes to mind because that's real. I mean, that's the one known cast, and so her. I thought she did very well and was able to really hold up to it.
And going back to the Be Our Guest, I remember when we were watching it, my wife, she, the whole sequence goes down then ends, and she wanted to clap. She wanted to clap.
Yes, you did it correctly.
She started clapping.
She wanted to stand up and be like, I will be your guest.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
I mean, give Ewan McGregor a lot of credit for that one because he did an interview where he said at first he couldn't do a French accent with shit.
It turned out Mexican apparently.
Yeah, he was talking about how he sounded out and was sounding more Mexican. But I mean, he worked
and
at it.
His French, which is even more.
Yeah. How can you not do that?
Which makes me wonder, out of curiosity, how they ended up casting him to begin with if he couldn't already do a French accent.
Because I was thinking they would go. You remember who was the guy that won Best Actor a couple years ago for The Artist, who's French? I would figure they'd go for somebody that's actually French, but
he did a great job.
To that point, though, how I said, Gerard Butler didn't have any singing experience before doing Phantom of the Opera, yet they cast
Right,
him.
But Ewan McGregor does have singing.
learning
But-
to a proper singing technique. I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think it would be harder to try and get an accent down.
Voice. I mean, that's
Then
like
to-
voice. That's like probably really hard.
Because
Singing's
singing
tough, though. I mean, look
No,
at-
singing is tough.
But
Look at
the
the
thing about this,
difference
because when you're doing a voice or an accent, you have to make sure you can do that voice a million different ways, like under however they ask you to do that voice. Because the second you slip out of that accent, you lose it.
I mean, to be a
You
good
know?
singer, though,
Well,
you know, like you don't want, like, look what happened with Les Mis and Russell Crowe. Everyone destroyed Les
That's
Mis
because
and Russell
he-
Crowe because of his singing, and that's you know,
But
like
Russell
that's the
Crowe does
thing.
good American accents.
Yes.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing American in that movie.
But it's a different thing though. It's two different things though. But he can't really sing.
I mean,
or
the
he's
fact,
like that,
and
but he
also the
can
fact
do
that he was
accents.
able to sing with a French accent,
I mean,
that's
the-
like doubly.
Yeah.
But that was after. But that was after that they had to.
Still,
you know,
though, gotta
work
give
with it,
the
and
man
they had
credit.
To overdub it a few times. Like,
I mean, I'm
it's-
surprised Disney had the patience to let
Well,
him
I mean,
learn all that to get to that point when they could have just gotten another actor that could already do a French accent or a French actor.
Well, I think by Disney standards, they saw the name Ewan McGregor.
I
and
think
said,
they
"People will recognize
wanted.
this name.
Yeah,
Let's
I
make
think
sure
that,
he
but I
stays
think
in this
also
movie."
like he actually can sing. Like he did.
Maybe he can. I've never seen him in anything.
Well,
that
he
where
did
sang,
Moulin
but-
Rouge.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah. I never saw
he
it, though.
can sing. It's
Okay.
he probably has done like musical stuff in his background, but so I think it was more like he can sing, and they just probably just thought, oh well, he does movies where he loses his he's Scottish, right?
Yeah.
Scottish.
Yes.
Well, he's losing his Scottish accent, doesn't an English or American or whatever, and just been like, oh well, apparently it's a little harder for the Scots to do French.
Which it might be. So a few more things that I just wanted to bring up. I love that they went a little bit farther with the whole petal falling, where we actually got to see the objects in the castle start becoming sentient, or not sentient, but
Did they just
Inanimate.
become?
turning back into objects.
They're just
like that was
non-animated
that got
objects.
depressing really quick.
But I like that part.
It was good.
Yeah, because in the original, they never said they were turning back,
Right.
like back actually into the objects where they couldn't. It was just they were going to be
Right.
stuck that way.
Well, and it was like that extra little like tug at your
And
heart
I like
type
that.
moment,
Yeah.
You know?
I
I mean, you
mean,
knew they were going to be okay.
My
but-
fiance was crying.
Oh yeah.
So sad, especially
mean,
like the
it-
dog with the.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, and then he just like, whoop, and then he
Yeah.
just falls over.
Well, and then like what was it? The code holder's last act was
He
to
saved
save
Chip before
you
he
know,
broke.
Before he smashed.
What would have happened?
Oh, that would have been awful.
Yeah, but I was like, so he
He
like
would've been
smashed, but then like if
would've
the
been
curse
dead.
broke, would he would have been dead, or would he
Yeah.
be like his like arm would be
I
somewhere?
imagine he'd be dead. I mean, I don't know. See, that's all.
But
these
let's not
Disney
go there.
movies
Let's
always
not go
have
there.
Some bit of magic that you can't explain for any reason whatsoever.
Well, I like
Um,
that, and I liked also that like I was telling you, like they said, like they would have stayed those objects
Right.
inanimated, and he
Yeah.
would have turned full beast mode, kind of.
Right.
Basically, like
If
he was.
if he hadn't just been shot.
If
3
he hadn't,
times
he
by
would have just
Gaston.
gone straight into like a
Yeah.
big monster and not like know who he is
Yeah.
anymore. And I thought that was really good because they said like
Um,
he's losing a little bit of himself each day. Like he's,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just gonna throw out what I love Ian McKellen in this movie as Cogsworth. I mean, I know he didn't play like the biggest role, but
I
like,
think he did a good job
he
for
did a
the
great
for what
job, and
Cogsworth
he
is from
was
the original.
hilarious.
Mhm.
Like especially at the end where he saw Mrs. Cogsworth and,
And he's
turn
like-
back 2 o'clock, turn back 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like he pulled off.
His like face was just like.
He pulled off being like he looked like he was in an animated movie basically, especially in that
Yeah.
last. He looked like an animated movie character right there.
And then I
it
think
was
even
great.
like weren't they dancing and he's just like not. He's
Yeah.
like, no, why is this happening? I'd rather just be an animated object.
and also real quick, since let's just bring this up real fast too, is like how ridiculous the uproar that was caused by that half a second of LeFou dancing with another man, and that was considered the gay moment that blocked the film in Malaysia. Seriously? Like, okay, come on, guys.
I don't even know. It was
It was
more
barely-
like people in like Alabama, like I'm not gonna play it. And I was like, Because I'm sitting there waiting for like some big moment. I was like, is he gonna kiss Gaston or something?
And that's what I heard. Like the article had come out before saying that that LeFou was the first openly gay character, and there was definitely a gay moment in the movie. And I'm like thinking, okay, so something's gonna happen, I guess. When we got to that point in the movie, I'm just like, okay, I'm still waiting for LeFou's gay moment here. And then the one guy comes up to dance with LeFou, and then it cuts away, and I'm like.
Though I
looked around like, was that it?
I didn't know if that was it or when the three guys.
Where the one guy gets dressed up. Everybody keeps saying that it's the LeFou moment.
Well, no, I know that. I know it's the LeFou moment, but I liked that moment where she screams, like in the movie, and like the two guys like scream, and the other guy's like staring at her like winks and struts away, and I was like, yes, that was a great moment. I thought it was great. I didn't think anything was wrong with it at all.
Well, no, it was no. There
I
wasn't.
know that there is anything wrong. It's like, but also the thing was, I didn't even think it was necessary to put out an article saying, "Oh, it's first," because you know what. Right. It's not a big deal anymore. Why do you have to, put it out there?
It's really not. And if you're talking about I mean, it's great that LeFou was, the first openly gay character in Disney.
But nobody cares. That's fantastic. Great, but nobody cares.
Right, especially if you're going to try to build it up as saying like, oh, there's this gay moment at the end. Like, why did you say that? Like, why didn't you?
It's almost like what they call like queer baiting. Like like some people are like, oh well, we're gonna go see this for that, and then you get it, and then you're like, oh well, that's not. They're making it all out. It wasn't anything, and and honestly. Who cares?
No,
and it wasn't that big. It's not like it's not going to change Disney history.
No, it had no bearing on the plot. It had no bearing on, I mean, LeFou's actions were a little bit gayer, but whatever. It wasn't. It fit with his character. It was perfectly fine.
And also I'd be like,
he didn't do anything inappropriate. He didn't do. All he did was dance with another dude, and they didn't even show them actually dancing.
No, they just ran into each other,
and that's it.
Which I've seen in other movies too.
Exactly.
So I thought it was stupid. I think it was. I think they shouldn't have even put a press release.
They shouldn't have put any article out saying
at all because it wasn't. It wasn't anything. They should have
monitored their words better to not. Again, they did, like you said, they queer baited. They almost, they built you up to think. Oh, there's going to be like this.
They made hubbub about. They gave themselves bad press, I think, because after that, you didn't hear about. Oh, well, that's it was more like all the people that didn't want to see it, where they were going to ban it because it's not, for those people who are homophobic or whatever. But then it's like that's not what the movie's about.
Right. Exactly.
It should be a family movie for anybody. Anybody should be able to see it. And so I was like, I was just like, stop like giving yourself like this like kind of like people are going to go see your movie. You don't have to be like we're going to have the first openly whatever character.
Right. Exactly.
Who cares? Just show the movie. We like it. If people want to talk about it, write a little article about it afterwards, then go ahead.
Costa, anything you want to add before we start wrapping up? Anything you want to say about the movie?
No, I mean
it's your chance, man.
No, I mean
this is it before it's over.
No, I mean the movie it was a fun film. Yeah. Go out and see it. I mean there's no reason not to.
Is this another $1 billion in the waiting for Disney?
Well, I mean,
after they.
Like I said, fine. I think it was when we actually did the trailer theater for Beauty and the Beast and Logan that I made the comment that Beauty and the Beast would make more in its first weekend than Logan would make in its time before Beauty and the Beast came out combined, which it did by a lot.
Yeah.
And 170 million. I will say that this upcoming weekend will be very telling as to whether or not it gets to the $1 billion mark.
I mean, it's still going to be number one.
Right, it'll still be number one, but if it does like another say 120 million or something like that in its second weekend, and it's sitting at over $250 million, then maybe. I mean, it really all just depends on how long of a shelf life it ends up having. I
think it's going to be in theaters for a while.
I mean, did Jungle Book break $1 billion?
Yes.
Yeah, so
I think it has a chance.
So it's going to. I feel like
I think it will still be it'll probably be in my top 10 at the end of the year.
Okay.
Because I mean, looking at it, I think this is going to be. They keep on putting Disney's being smart and putting something in March where usually there's not a lot of stuff. You know, it's getting over the February and January crap months. But March is starting to become more of the spring is the new summer blockbuster. It's pushing it. So I think it's going to be a little bit till we hit the next 2 months, probably till May or whatever, when we hit the bigger movies.
Sure.
But I still think this is going to have longevity in the theater.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. Like I said, this will not end up being my favorite movie of this year, nor will it be in my opinion, best movie of the year or anything. But that being said, it was very solid. Very solid, very
I can
good.
guarantee you it will be mine.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know where on the list, but it'll probably be my top 5.
And that's fine. And at the end of the year, since there aren't actually that many movies that I'm really looking forward to this year, it might still end up being at the top of the list but for me by the end of the year. However, I'm just saying, coming out of it, I liked it, but I wasn't as blown away as I was, like we said earlier, with Jungle Book. And I still think this is a very good, Disney did Beauty and the Beast justice with this movie.
I hope they follow through.
We can walk away happy that they didn't screw up Beauty and the Beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it helps us also look forward to the future of what they're going to do with The Lion King. It'll be a mixture of,
exactly.
Yeah.
Disney, and that's what we
and
talked
Little
about
Mermaid and Aladdin.
Disney has been on a good trend. For a long time there, they were putting out bad product, just really bad product.
But that was making
movies that they
yeah.
were jamming into.
They're still jamming that.
But again, they were taking things that we loved and not doing good things with them. And for a long time, Disney I associated with crap. Beyond Pixar. Pixar was in my opinion, their shining gem for a few years.
Yeah.
Now though, I feel like they have completely turned around. I mean, just everything they've put out in the past few years has been really good.
Yeah. It also helps that they have Marvel and Star Wars too.
Well, yes.
They're literally you can't beat them.
I think a part of their turnaround has been acquiring Star Wars.
I'm sure. I mean,
I really
all
do
that
think
money acquiring.
Once they acquired Star Wars and started talking to Lucasfilm about how to properly do good films, they started realizing that and putting it all together.
They brought in whoever they brought in who came up with hey, we should do this.
Right. Exactly. Their own animated studios, they've been.
Well, the animated studios have been here for a while.
No,
yeah.
I know, but I'm saying, but even they had to have a bit of a turnaround because Pixar basically dominated the market, and then Disney started to come around with Wreck-It Ralph and Big Hero 6 and Zootopia.
Yeah.
So
Zootopia won the Academy Award for Best Animated Picture. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, either way, Disney wins either way, but
Disney wins everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a good movie at the end of the year. Don't think it'll be best movie. I think I'll.
For you.
Right.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
There will be other films.
I mean, you have Star Wars. Yeah.
Star
we already
Wars.
know what your favorite is.
I know. I can't help it. I am a Star Wars fanboy, but if they.
Hey, Star Wars was in my top.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Rogue
One was.
If Rogue One sucked,
and Force
for example,
Awakens. Yeah.
It would not have been. I would have been the first one to be very crushed and disappointed. You know what I mean? And I would be flat out honest. I wouldn't try to save it.
Just
if
sit there
if
crying
it
in the
sucked,
corner.
I would have come out and said.
Well,
that sucked.
hey, you know what?
But it didn't.
You never
and now I
know.
did Force Awakens.
Maybe the Last Jedi or whatever will break your.
And it's
you haven't
related
seen
'cause
anything.
It's still Disney.
You haven't even seen anything yet.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Why haven't we seen anything?
I mean, you know how it's going to open.
Where's the trailer? Anyway, so we're gonna wrap up here. But thank you guys.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun.
It's been fun.
Had a lot of fun talking about Beauty and the Beast before I went off track there at the end.
It's okay.
I avoided a rant. So.
We usually always do, so it's all right.
Yeah, at some point. But we hope everybody listening there enjoyed our discussion. Let us know what you thought. Either comment on the audio track or if you're watching us on YouTube, comment beneath the video, please. Let us know what you thought of Beauty and the Beast. And anything else we talked about, please feel free to comment. And as always, you can always find us on social media. On Twitter, it's @Movie.Cast spelled out. And on Facebook, it's Movie.Cast. Search us up, hit us up there if you like. And we hope you enjoyed our show. See you in the Funny Papers.